So this story is about a week old, but I think it needs to be brought up. Needs to be talked about. Cause man, it's getting real in the field out there for us, brothers and sisters. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Let's hit it.
We're learning more about what led up to an incident on a Currituck County school bus. And in the video you're about to see, a woman boards a school bus and is seen yelling furiously. Tonight, we've learned the woman was yelling at an 8th grade student on that bus. Earlier tonight, Markeisha Jackson was following that story and has more.
Sit the down. Now y'all gonna do
Words no child should hear when riding a school bus, but for Savannah Bailey, she and other students heard that and more.
I was like raised not to take disrespect, even though I didn't say anything. It was just kind of shocking to me how she talked to me like that way, even though she doesn't know.
Savannah Bailey drank a little more water.
And according to Savannah, the woman didn't know the full situation either. Savannah told me what unfolded.
Hold up. This is mess I'm talking about. Dude, whether this is your wife or your daughter, why are they out this? Why is she at the house like this with no freaking pants on? Now this is country. I mean, this is country because you see the wheel, see the wheels. I know this. You see the wheels, the work truck. Oh yeah, my man is out there working hard. I ain't even tripping. You know what I'm saying? He doing this thing. More power to him. This is like the way he's looking. He got that manly man look. Like he out there providing for his family. Got this stay home wife and sending his kid to school. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
Either. Savannah told me what unfolded before the video. She says the woman, who police have identified as 35-year-old Samantha Spoor, was told by her son that he had been kicked on the bus by another student. When the bus got to Spoor's stop, that's when Spoor made her way inside. Savannah said she stood up only to better hear what the woman was saying. That's
a lie.
Woman directed the mean comments at her.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, yeah, she's a kid. Nah, you wouldn't stand up to hear what she was saying. You was let me. I'm sorry. Focus on the story, Marla.
The woman was saying. That's when the woman directed the mean comments at her. Savannah's parents
report it for your mama.
Say this
Send her.
Was uncalled for.
To have a parent step on my child's bus.
Okay. That's his wife. So who was that other chick with the baby? Damn near look like, I mean, seriously, let's go back, y'all. Hold on, peoples. They damn near look like twins. And at junior high. This one here is supposed to be in the 7th grade. That's a big 7th grader. Man, there's a lot to this story, man. Let's keep going.
Said she stood up only to better hear what the woman was saying. That's when the woman directed the mean comments at her. Savannah's parents
report it for your mama.
Say this
Send her.
Was uncalled for.
To have a parent step on my child's bus. These days and times, you don't know what could have happened.
School officials sent 10 on Your Side a statement that said only authorized personnel and students are permitted to board school buses. The safety and well-being of students and staff remain our highest priority.
I sent her on the bus to get a safe ride home. I'm not sure if I want her to ride that bus anymore.
Spoor now faces
The man in me has questions, but we're going to keep going.
Misdemeanor charges of trespassing, disorderly conduct, and communicating threats.
Yeah.
It's being an adult and knowing how far to take it and not getting on a bus yelling and screaming at children.
You know what? Y'all holding it down as parents. Y'all holding it down pretty good for the camera. Because let me tell y'all something. I told the story before. I'm going to say it again. When I was a kid, playing basketball in my own backyard, me and my homeboys in the backyard playing. And I told you that my homeboy was like very infatuated, enamored with motorcycles. I think his daddy had one. So when we was playing the backyard, we had a 6-foot 6-foot wood fence that separated our yard from a neighbor's yard. But when you look through the slats, you could tell. If you look, if you're moving enough at the right angle, you could tell there's a motorcycle in the backyard. So my homeboy saw it. He's like, "Oh man, motorcycle!" Blah blah blah. So the fence that goes from our backyard to our front yard was like a 4-foot chain link fence. So he kind of climbed up on that, looked over the fence to look at this guy's motorcycle, and my neighbor saw him. Crazy throwed off looking Jamaican dude saw him and said, "Man, what you doing in my yard? Look at him, get from over my fence." Boom. Homeboy jumped down, took off running. I'm like, "God, this nigga took off and left me." So then the neighbor started threatening me because he thought it was me. And I'm like, "Dude, that wasn't me. I wasn't looking over your yard." He's steady going off on me. I guess I was in junior high at the time, I think. I believe I was in junior high at the time. And so later on in the evening, this is why your mama and daddy say don't be having. And I didn't want to tell them probably because my homeboys over there playing basketball with nobody home but me. So you know what I'm saying? And that's your mama and daddy said don't have friends over when we not here. So I was being hard headed and it almost got me caught up. Okay. That's why you got to learn your lesson. So I went and told them because like this dude threatened my life. So I went and told my parents, my mom and dad got up, went over there, talked to the dude or what have you. And they were like, "Oh no, we ain't having that." And they went and talked to the dude. So that's scenario number one, how you handle that situation. Scenario number two, I remember my daughter and this dude was supposed to be cool with each other. And I know they was like, liked each other. Let's say that in junior high, this and the third. He, for some reason, called out her name on the bus. Right. My first inclination was, let me go holler at the parents. Because he was a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was good. This, that, and the third. One reason why I told my daughter, don't jump in no relationship with nobody quick. Get to know people first before you jump in a relationship because you never know that person. You need to you need to have time to know that guy. My neighbor, when I told him the story, my daughter told me and I told him the story. He was like, "Nah." He said, "Don't do it." Now, my neighbor, he's from California, you know what I'm saying? Sacktown. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure he would have been back in the day, probably thought the same way. But he said, "No, what you need to do is notify the school." Because it happened on school bus. He said, just call up, go to the school, talk to notify the school. Do that. Because you can go over there, something can happen, and you mess around, you can get killed, they can get killed, just notify the school first. That way it can be on the record that it happened. And that's what I did, notified. So I went and notified the school, talked to him, talked to his mama upset with him, all that kind of stuff. Because his mama liked my daughter a lot. Mama, grandparents, you know what I'm saying? They invited her over for dinner and all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because we try to raise pretty good daughters, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, that didn't escalate no further. And they still ended up being like cool, whatever. But they understood but they understood, that's how I handled that situation. So there's two ways that these parents can handle that situation. And so I think they handled it the right way because the best way to deal with them folk is through money. Hurt their pocketbooks, put them in the system. Because she thought she was going to get on there and threaten, you got a boy. Usually mamas teach they ball. Well, back in my day, usually mama teach they boys to go in there and whoop some tail. Don't care, you don't tell, well, if it's a female, then that's one thing. I think this mother said that she had previously talked to the principal, and that's what my homeboy was telling me. My neighbor was telling me, he said, "Look, talk to them first. So if it escalates or keep going, at least you got it on the record. So if you do have to confront the family, at least you can say that you went and spoke to him." I remember that part. So she said she did talk to the school about her son being bullied, which I can understand. Okay, you do that. And if nothing is getting done, then you got to take matters into your own hands. But this backfired because she got on the bus. What she should have done is found out who the parent, like I said, your kid tell you who the child was. The child tell who the child is, you find out who the parents are, and then you go and talk to the parents. That's how she should have handled that. Jumping on a bus like a out of control berate little piglet, that just hurt her all the way around. Now you done went from son getting bullied to you got court cases and you got fines you got to pay. And I'm quite sure you ain't really got that kind of bread to just be throwing out for court cases, because you did, you probably would have jumped on that bus and whooped everybody on that bus because you had that kind of money. But I digress. But the one point I want to hit right now is they say that she's threw out racial slurs. Now, I haven't heard the woman deny that. I know she said that she would do it again, but just not use the same language. But she would do it again. That shows you how ignorant and immature she is, because there's no way in hell she would have jumped on a bus to threaten a bunch of kids. But she did say, tell your mama to come see me. Well, she should have told her mama to come see her. Now, like I say, you go through the courts first, then you go see him. But they saying that she used the N word. My peoples, you got to understand right now that is about to explode. Why? Because they have showed that if you sit there and use that word against a 5-6-year-old little child, you could quite possibly become a millionaire. Basically saying that there are people out there that have your back on social media, because ain't nobody gonna come to your house and stand guard for you at all. Understand that. But that they got protection and somebody got that back on social media, to where that if they feel that they are being, that their way of life, their way of belief, their way of feeling, the racism comes out and it's being threatened, you got people that will come to your defense. They see that now. And so now people, I'm thinking this is about to become a lot bigger and happen a lot more than what you are ready for. So get ready. So everybody who want to holler racism and people holding you back, what you're going to find out though, it ain't going to be them people in higher authorities that's going to do this. It's going to be that low level trash, TPT, women that look like they on meth. They're like, they struggling themselves just like everybody else. Those be the ones that's on your same level or lower. Those be the ones who throw out them racial slurs all the time, out in public, upset with the world because you and them on the same level. That's how the game go, unfortunately. So be ready. Just be ready. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below, share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. You know how we do around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to our channel. If you would like to support us financially, you can get super thanks, super chat, super stickers, and go to the description box. There are a couple of links in there that you can click on to help support us that way. But now, if you would like something tangible for your dollars, which a lot of people do, go to marlonmorales.com, go to our Shopify store, or simply hit the shop button below and check out all our luxury products. We got fragrances that last for days. We got beard products. We got silk products. We got handbags, much more. Check it out. You will not be disappointed. With that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.